Hello guys, welcome to Photographics Academy. Alright, so today we are looking at something very amazing. I've been seeing this trend for some time now, and I think I love the effects that you are seeing on your screen right now. I love the effects, so I decided to take a jump on it and make a video and show you exactly how the effect was created, so that if you want to duplicate it or replicate it in your own job, you can be able to do it comfortably. All right, so it might be a long video, it might be a short video. I'm not so sure exactly how long it's going to take, but trust me, you are going to get amazing results. So without wasting your time, let's get started. This image was taken by Dongenic Photography all the way from Nigeria. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to do a cropping, 8x10 of course. Then I'm going to give it space. Yeah, very necessary. Make sure you give your object space. Just set it in such a way that it will suit what you are doing. Very important. So the first step is to get your object ready for the manipulation. Okay, so I think I like this. I'm going to press OK, and I'll just pick up your rectangular marquee to make a selection. Press Ctrl T, stretch it. Do the same thing for the four sides. All right, so we are here. I think I'm going to add a little brightening to the shadows. Shadows are a bit too dark for me. Yeah, just like that. I'll press enter. So the next thing we're going to do is to prepare our background. Very important. So we're going to cut her out and make it a pure white background, or any other color you would want to use later if you do not want to stick to the white background. And before I forget, the background you are seeing behind the object, you are getting it for free in this particular video. So stay tuned to get the password. All right, so I'm going to make a quick selection. Select subject. Make a quick selection of my object. So I'm supposed to duplicate this before I do that, but we can still do it. So I'm just going to drag and drop. I will have a backup copy of this. I'm going to show you the reason later, and zoom the object close to make some refining to your selection. Yeah. So we'll start from here. Press Ctrl Shift I to invert the selection and start minusing the places you do not want. All right, what did we do? So duplicate this, right click on your object, select inverse. Let's go again, hold your alternate to minus from the selection, just like this. And this one, very important, you need an accurate selection to be able to do this. So I'm going to take out time, fast forward the video, and get the selection right. All right, so we've got to the selection. So I'm going to create a mask. I'm going to create a mask for it. Yeah, just like that. If you want to see the mask you created, just hide this one. Of course, I'm supposed to do Ctrl I. Yeah, so hide this one and you are going to see it open. So I'm going to go to my letter mask to refine the edges of my mask. Yeah, so I'm going to zoom in over the hair area. I'm going to make sure that your color where is selected, come all the way down and make sure the contaminate color is selected, and maybe you try to reduce the opacity of that. Make sure your smart reduce is selected as well. Increase the reduce just slightly. Add a little smoothness, a little feathering, a little contrast, and shifting the edge just slightly like that. Beautiful. Just slightly, maybe -5 or something. Then pick up your refine edge brush and just go around your hair to make sure you have a nice selection of the hair there. Just like that. I'm just going to take this round. Okay, so just go around to make sure that there's no other parts that we are losing. Okay, so I think I like what I have here. Every other thing we can adjust later. So we'll just come straight to our output setting right here. Just come straight to our output setting right here. This wasn't exactly what I did here, somewhere around here. Come down to our output setting. Make sure that new layer with layer mask is selected. Press OK. And we'll have our object on a new layer. So you can decide to delete this one. You can decide to keep it, but I might just keep it, or rather, let me just delete that. It would cause a lot of issues. So let's load up a solid color adjustment to be sure of what we did in our selection. So I'm going to try somewhere around white. Let's see how white goes. Beautiful. You can try off-white. You can try even black to keep giving you a very consistent result. And this is how you can just make your quick selection and cut out your image from your background. So I'm going to put it somewhere around here just to make her stand out. If we will need to change it later, we will do that. But for now, we will keep it here. Press OK. Press OK. Then to restore your shadows, because it's very, very necessary. One more thing that we are missing out, I'm going to make, and I'm just going to come here and apply my layer mask so that I can have access to the box. So one more thing we need to do is to fix the box. I notice it has a lot of blemishes on it, so I'm going to take our time and do that and get back to the video. All right, so I'm going to make a quick selection of the box, just like this, and try to clean it up more using our black and white, just give it a very sparkling white color. All right, so I'm going to go to black and white layer, make it very much brighter. Yeah, like that. So press enter. Okay, so at this point we are losing our box to our solid color, so I'm going to just darken this down here. So just slightly. Yeah, so we'll have our own box properly separated from the background. All right, so to restore our shadows, which is very, very necessary, we are going to unlock this layer. We will unlock this layer. Make sure that your color, your adjustment color layer is set to color. Make sure it's set to color. So with this, which will allow us to see everything behind it, which is our layer here. So with this, we can now reduce the opacity of the layer and we'll still see our solid color properly represented. We can as well increase this. So let me quickly match these two layers so that things don't get too white. So we'll just go to match layers. We'll have that matched together. So this is what we're going to do. This is the idea. We increase this till we get enough shadow that we want for the floor. Then we use our layer mask to paint it in. Just like that. Okay, so I think we'll have enough shadows already. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a layer mask adjustment layer for this. A layer mask rather, just layer mask here. I'm going to create a layer mask for that and now slightly paint in the shadow. Just like this. Okay, so remove all these areas, just the shadows needed. Just like that. I'm going to reduce the flow of my brush here, so that the painting will be seamless and smooth. The transitions will be amazing as well. Okay, so we have this working. Can try to restore just a little bit at the edge here. Nice one. Just to make sure we have enough shadows to make our object look realistic. All right, so this is it before, after, before, after. So we'll have a floor for her. She's standing on a floor. We can decide to even make this longer. Can decide to make it shorter. So at this point, I think I might need to extend my cropping. So I'm going to just spread this out a little before we bring in our background. Stretch this out a little. Place her somewhere here, yeah, like that. Press OK. So we'll have it properly cropped out. So for this area, we'll just use our lasso tool. Just make a selection of this area. Make a selection of this area. Hold on. Okay, view content aware. Let's see how that goes. Okay, that doesn't work it then. Let's try it on the solid color. We could just painting. Let's quickly fix that. All right, so we need to specifically identify where that separation is coming from. Okay, so it's coming from our original background layer, so we can use our brush and take it out. Use our brush and take it out just like that. All right, so we'll have it. Now let's move to the next one. So the next one we're going to do is to make a selection of our background. To do that, I'm going to group all of this into one group. So Ctrl G. So you can convert this group to a smart object. Convert to a smart object. So we'll have everything inside one group. So if we want to access anything, we can still access it later without affecting any single thing in the image. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, which is the next part, is to pick up your shape tool. Pick up your shape tool. Yeah, come over here, rectangular tool, right? Okay, so make sure that your stroke is selected to black. Make sure that your pixel is set at 0, and make sure that your angle is set somewhere around 366. Let's try that and see how curved it will give us. So let's try drawing. Yeah, beautiful. So just make a drawing like this. Make a drawing like this. Stop right there. Or we should decide to bring it in a little. Okay, so we'll make a drawing like this. After making the drawing, come to the layer, right click and rasterize the layer. Pick up your move tool, hold your control to drag this down, so to give you that curved shape that you are looking for. So you can decide to make it go this way and now bring that in later, just to shift the front. But for this one, we're going to keep it just like this. Place it just like this. Beautiful. Like that. Press OK. I think we need to take this up a little more, just to keep it directly in the center, in the edge, or in the floor of the background. So this is the floor. So we need to make sure that this is positioned properly on the floor right there. So just put this, draw it downwards, draw it down. Maybe we can drag it down from here. Nice one. So just take out your time and make these adjustments work for your own image. Let me zoom out a little and make a little more dragging. Yeah, so I want it getting the floor, very important. Okay, so we are at the floor. Press OK. So the next thing you are going to do is to make a duplicate of this. So press Ctrl J, Ctrl T, and flip horizontally. So when you flip horizontally, so just drag it all the way to the other side. So I'm going to drag it this way. Maintain the same shape, the same place, every single thing the same way. Okay, so this is it right here. Might decide to bring ours inwards a little, just to give us the same edge that we have here. Press Enter, which we have it selected. Now you can match these two layers together. Hold your control, make a selection of this one, right click and go to match layers. Now we have our first job done. Just to give us a little more flexibility at the edge, I'm going to use my marquee tool and just do a cutting of this place. So I'm going to remove that. All right, I think we'll do that later. I wouldn't want to rasterize now because we might need to make some adjustments in the group. So we are going to leave this step and come back to it later. So now quickly, let's bring the background that we want to introduce into this image. Even at this point, you can decide to even crop out a little more. I think I might be needing a little space here. So I'm just going to make a little more cutout, just like this, slightly. Like that, press Enter. So if you feel here is covered up already, you can decide to go up and still make your adjustments, just like that. Drag it, give it out a little space, yeah, just like that. Press OK. So we'll have it properly cut out. All right, so when we are properly set, let's load up our background. So I'm going to go straight to my desktop layer over here, to my desktop folder, drag in the backdrop and drop it where I need it to be, just under my selection. Okay, so I'm just going to make a drag. I will drag it in. Hold on, let's place it here. Beautiful. All right, so drag it in, pick up your move tool and scale it in like that. Just scale it in till you get it to where you want it to be, just like that. So I would want to just stick with the pot. So I'm going to use this one like this. So if we have any other adjustment we want to make later, we can as well still make it. Press Enter, duplicate your object layer, Ctrl J. Make sure that you duplicate Ctrl J, duplicate this and place this one directly above your shape layer. And make sure your shape layer is also at the topmost, just like this. Just arrange your own layer, your own layer style the same way you are seeing me arrange mine, just the same thing. So we're going to place this behind here. Make a selection of your object, of the selection of the cutout you make. Hold your control and click right here to make a selection. Then go over to your main object layer. rasterize this so you can be able to make a cutout and use your backspace to cut it out. So once you press your backspace, it's going to cut it out in that shape. It's going to cut it out in that shape. And now you can make adjustments to your main background, or you can decide to drag in, drag out. Just make your adjustment till it fits your own style. You can even as well decide to move your object around if it's not seated the particular way you want it to sit. But so all this is left for you to just align it with how it works for you. So I'm just going to place this somewhere around here. Beautiful. Place it somewhere around here. Okay, so I think this is a bit too big, so we'll lose it. It's beautiful. Okay, let's bring it inwards a little more, just to make sure we are matching the bottom part of our selection of our object with the bottom part of the pot. That's what we are trying to make sure we are doing. So press OK. Now, to be able to replicate what we have here over here, rasterize your background layer, make a selection, press Ctrl J that duplicate it, press Ctrl T to flip the selection, select flip horizontally, just to drag it over like this. So you have the same selection right here. Now use your marquee tool and just cut out this particular one. Just do a cutout like this. So you have this one here, I have this one here. That's just the quickest way to do that. So you can decide to now hide this little stuff showing up there. Beautiful. So we'll have the background properly positioned. And if you feel like you still want a bit of this to be out, the simplest way you can do that, which we need to do, is to make a selection of the main object, pick up your rectangular marquee tool, and just select it like this. Delete that area. So we'll have our object, this place, just have it flowing, just have it arranged in this particular area. And let's see if we can make a little aligning between these two, because it's showing up the way we do not want it. So I'm just going to delete a little bit of this. Yeah, so let's see how that goes with my object. Beautiful. So I think it's okay. We can now use our clone stamp to hide stuff, or even use our mask. Our masking, you just use your brush to make that place look very, very seamless, very important. Just like this. Right, so that cutout will not be very, very obvious. You can even decide to remove this particular one over here as well. Let's see if we can get that done quickly. Let's just fix that particular area. Yeah, so this is where it is. Have it here. We can actually use our clone stamp and just make a quick minusing of this particular stuff right here. So all we are doing is to make sure we have a very beautiful backdrop at the end of the day. So you can pick up your mixer brush tool right now and just mix this area just to make it fine. So you must not do all this one that I'm doing right now. I'm just doing all of this just to make sure I have a very perfect work. If your own background just aligns with your image so perfectly, then you do not need to do this. Just I needed something a bit more extra. That's why I'm doing all of this. So all these edges are going to hide behind our object, so there's no need keeping them accurate. Okay, so let's see how that goes. Beautiful. All right, so we'll have it properly evened out. Yeah. Okay, nice. So the next thing we're going to do to even make things more realistic is to go to our object layer, double click on it. Your blend diff is going to load up. Go to your bevel emboss, make sure it's on, and just make a little changes here and there just to make the edges look very, very realistic, like a paper. Just move this around like that. Like this. Beautiful. You can start to make the opacity stronger or lighter. We'll try to change the angle, the lightness. Sorry, what was that? Let's go back to what we had. Just change the angle of the light. We also want to make sure that our shadow is not here. Yeah, principal. So you can decide to increase the depth slightly towards the right. Right. Okay. Make this down. Make this up. Just move sliders around to get a very nice result overall. This works. This works. So the last thing I want to do is just to drop shadows. I'll just drop my shadow. It's around just slightly. Want to spreading it over the whole edge. So I'm going to make it wider. This is just such a way that it's looking like right there. Then reduce the spread. Probably increase the opacity to make it stronger or reduce it. Yeah, somewhere around here. Increase the size slightly until none. All right, so we are done. Press OK. So look at that. The effect that we added, the drop shadow. Look at the bevel emboss. It just gives us that wrapping edge effect. So I think the bevel emboss is slightly too much. We'll reduce the opacity overall, and also probably the opacity of the drop shadow. Reduce it as well. Press OK. Now we have a very good result. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to do a global color grading for the image, just to bring things a little bit closer towards one color. And to do that, before we do that, we're going to quickly do just a very quick skin retouching for the object. So I'm going to load up my beauty retouch panel. I'll just quickly go to my 8-bit. Okay, so it's a 16-bit image, so I'm going to use 16 bits. Just press anything. I'm going to still delete it, so I'm going to delete this and load it up again, 16 bits here. So place the Gaussian blur around 4. Just to get a very quick retouching. It's not easy. Do our frequency separation, our mixer brush tool. So just make a quick selection. So just go around your image like this and paint. So I'm going to fast forward this process so it doesn't take all your time, but see you. All right, so we just did a quick skin retouching. Let me show you quickly what we did. Let me group it together. So we just did a very quick skin retouching using our dodging and burning and our frequency separation. So the next thing I want to do on the image is to match the skin tone so that they will look exactly the same thing. But before I do that, let me match these two layers together. Merge layers and probably increase their brightness just to suit the overall brightness of the whole area. Hold on, why is that not working? Oh, have it matched up here already. All right, so I think we've gone past the level where we can do that. All right, so I'm going to quickly match the skin tone, and to do that, I'm going to create a stamp visible layer above everything. Create a stamp visible layer above everything, then go to my solid color, pick a very bright color, maybe somewhere around here. Press OK. Minimize this, make a duplicate of this, go to my color range after creating my mask, and just pick the skin tone. So I feel like I should minus the pot. Okay, so the pot has a lot of the same color with the skin. So we're going to work with that and just remove it from the pot. So press OK. Use the mask to replace that of the solid color. And that is the trick on how that works. Delete, remove the pot from the selection. Remove the pots and every other bright area, and possibly the hair as well. So we'll just quickly drop this to color so we can see what we're doing. Remove the hair. So just reduce the fill as low as you can. Zoom it out to see exactly what you are doing. I think I like it this way. Beautiful. So I'm going to make a duplicate of that and change this one to soft light to color grade. So I think I want it a bit warmer than that. Maybe somewhere around an orange color. Yeah, something like that. Press OK. Reduce it one more time. Probably drop this one down a little. Or increase. What do? We have to drop it down somewhere around here. All right, so this is slightly still too much. We reduce both of them. Then we'll have to make a group of these two and see what they look like before and after. Beautiful. So I'm going to match the group. So we'll have one color grading. You can reduce it to give you the same thing, but this doesn't really work. So let's keep it in the group. Let's keep it in the group just like that. So we're already done. We're almost done. Very, very close to the final result. So I'm going to create one more stamp visible layer above all of this and drop straight to my camera raw. Just do a little pick or more color grading depending on what we want to do. You can even decide to bring in the leaves into this shot, into this scene, if that's the look you are going for, just to bring in the leaves and keep it at the edge. But that's going to take us a whole lot of time to get that done. So I'm going to reduce this, go down to my calibration, go to the blue primaries, increase the vibrance just a little, saturate it a little. Then for my blues over here, can decide to just reduce it slightly. Go to my color mixer, increase the luminosity of the blues, just to make it even whiter. So you can decide to tackle it. Well, I want it to give a very whitish, whitish background and all of that. So just lighten it up a little. Create a vignette effect, very, very important. Just like that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Press OK. I think we are good to go here. Press OK. So you can decide to crop it in a little. I think it's too big. Oh my God. So this is all we lost from the scene. Okay, press OK. Just to make that to enter. Beautiful. So the last thing I'm going to create is a sharpening layer and finally apply my done for you retouching action. Just to give it a final touch. Just to give it a final touch. This is way too much for details. Okay, so bring it down a little. Create one more stamp visible layer. Delete everything below. So I'm going to delete everything below here. No longer need them for now. So delete this. So I'm going to run my done for you retouching action and we are good to go. So I will show you the overall before and after. So I'm going to play this over the image. And all right, so we are missing a step. Hang on. So delete this, go back. Make sure this is flattened. Flatten this and go again. So keep our Gaussian plus over 2. Press enter. Allow it to do its magic. And boom, we are done. So let's see what our done for you did. So this is before, this is after. Beautiful. Let's see how it's handling the background. All right, so we're obviously going to reduce this. Yeah, I'll drop it down. Make sure you're applying it just on the image. Make sure you're applying it just on the image. So I'm going to quickly do a painting here. You don't need to be careful. All right, so we are done. I'm going to go to our history, create a snapshot and look at the overall final. So this was the image when we got into Photoshop. First of all, we prepared our image. Then we took out time and separated the image from the background. From there, we imported the background we needed, did a little bit of skin retouching and all of that. And this was the final result we got. If you like, you can even decide to introduce a gradient light into this. Let's get a little bit wide here. You can decide to just introduce a very beautiful lightning in from this area. Maybe something very warm or soft. Something very warm like that. Do the same thing over here. Very warm color. Scale it in a little to spread all over the image just like that. Press OK. Change it to soft light or any other blend mode that makes it beautiful. I think I love what this is bringing. Reduce the opacity just very low. So this is before, this is after. I think I need to reduce it a little more. Just that little kick of warmness from that end and we are good to go. So this was the image when we started everything and this is the final result. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell to get notified every single time we drop a new video because we keep bringing this type of content to you every single time. One more time, thank you for watching this amazing video. See you on the next one.